Hey, Abby. Well, yesterday was absolute chaos. Stage one was meant to be a 4.4 kilometer time trial, and we'd been set up in the town for 3 days before leading into it, done recon every day, super prepared, had beautiful sunny days in the lead up, and there was rain on the forecast, but for most of the days, but we never saw any rain. So we were pretty hopeful for race day, but yeah, unfortunately, it absolutely poured down, and there was thunder, lightning, hail, and a lot of the GC riders actually went off in the early parts of the race. So they were out there, and a lot of people crashed. Just the roads being so slippery, and the course was only 4K, but quite technical in some points. And so at one point they postponed the race, while it was sort of torrential rain there. Even the manhole drain things were sort of being pushed up from the ground because there was just so much water on the road. I think team cars, were even having crashes too. It was absolute chaos. And they restarted the race. I think one or two riders went off, and then they paused it again and then decided to cancel it. So, yeah, teams are out there. Everyone's getting soaked. Swannies are absolutely drenched, all the way through. People's shoes are just filthy, wet, everything out of control. But for me, I never even left the hotel. So I was dry and cozy, but just sitting there, just waiting for my time to leave, getting really nervous about it because I really wanted to have a good day. Being such a short race is, kind of up my alley. But yeah, didn't have to leave. So I was all bicarbed up, as you do for a time trial. Take some bicarb, get ready for a big effort. But then, put my skin suit on and then just took it straight off. So it was a really weird feeling, like being so nervous for an event and then like having this big build up for it, the days before. Really prepared well for it, mentally, physically, the recon and everything. Had a race plan, a nutrition strategy, and then, had sitting there ready to go with all these nerves, and then just like nothing happened. There was no adrenaline release from actually going out there and racing. So I felt this like massive sort of, crash later in the day. I just completely hit the wall, and I just went to bed so early last night. So I've been awake since 5 this morning. Looking forward to what is it? I guess now is stage 1 today. After the cancellation yesterday, no results count towards anything. GC starts again, and looking forward to it.
The voice you heard to bring you into this episode was Sarah Roy of the Canyon SRAM team. Thanks so much to Sarah for contributing. She gave us a little bit more information on the stage yesterday. It sounds like it was even crazier than we thought it was after the day. Let's talk about stage 2. Well, I got the stage wrong. I was like, oh yeah, sprint. But that's because looking at the profile, the climb didn't really look super significant. But the Giro Donne is going to Giro Donne, and I really should have known.
Yeah, I mean, a climb is a climb. When Van Vleuten sees a profile like that, I think she just sees that that's an opportunity for her. And it also means she probably wants the pink jersey from stage 1 and wants to keep it the whole way through to the finish. So, but I just looked, and the climb was really twisty, and also the descent was quite twisty as well. So, looks like an exciting one out there.
We don't actually know exactly how things went down because the live coverage crapped out on the final climb with about 20K to go, thanks to some thunderstorms going on in the area. So while it is the Giro, it's not technically the fault of the Giro. It's more the weather that was going on at the time. And it looked like they did get rained on pretty hard at one point when there was still 2 riders up the road, including your teammate, Suzanne Anderson, in like an impeccable jersey, the Norwegian national champ jersey. So good.
Yeah. First road race after winning it last weekend, and it's pretty cool to have that jersey in the team. It's a Norwegian team, so they were all really happy. But yeah, I was just following it on Twitter and I saw Susie was in the break, which I can see the thought behind that. It would have been good if there was a few more riders in the break, so she could have shared the workload a bit better. But yeah, it's a shame that she wasn't able to get over the climb before the main climbers caught her. But there's not loads of stages like that in the Giro this year. There's not loads of opportunities for real GT battles and climbers to get out there and show what they can do. So I think it's pretty much was going to be like that just because they wanted to just make the most of it.
As you said yesterday, first pink jersey to be handed out after the stage was canceled yesterday. With that in mind, and it being Van Vleuten's last season, it makes total sense that she would have gone after this climb the way that she did. And I think she followed a move by the 2 Lidl-Trek riders, Elisa Longoborghini and Gaia Riolini. Trek is coming into this race with a couple cards to play, and those 2 are definitely their top contenders for the general classification. But Van Vleuten ended up attacking the 2 of them, and it looks like Elisa actually got dropped from her teammate Gaia Riolini at one point because she was in a chasing group behind, and then we had Gaia Riolini and Marta Cavalli chasing down Van Vleuten, which was awesome to see if you're fans of Marta Cavalli and the last year that she's been through. To see her up there in the mix for the general classification was really great. And also, I think like Gaia Riolini continues to be a super impressive rider at the moment, but also in the future.
Yeah, I was really happy to see Marta Cavalli up there in the Pointena racing again. It's been a pretty hard year for her, and I know she's struggled a lot in the peloton this year. So yeah, I was happy to see that. But I think it's good. Like Lidl-Trek, they have a few cars to play, especially on a stage like this today, because they have the climbers, but they also have Lizzie, who knows she's there firstly as a teammate, but stages like today, can climb a little bit better than Lorena, or she can climb better than Lorena, and she can still sprint pretty well out of a group that's just got over a 7K climb. So yeah, they had a few cars to play. If it went hard on the climb, then they could have Borghini there and Gaia. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Lizzie, like another awesome rider to see back in the peloton, out for different reasons than Marta Cavalli, but yeah, like just love seeing her back. Lidl-Trek had a pretty decent day out there with 2 riders finishing in the top 10 and still in the conversation for the general classification. So let's hear from Lauretta Hanson on how the team thinks they did.
Hi everyone. So today we had the first stage of the Giro Donne after yesterday's false start. And yeah, for most of us, we have a pre-race routine, which yesterday was thrown out of whack for a lot of riders. Like, you're warming up and then you're not, and it's delayed, and then you've just had your caffeine just to find out that the race has been cancelled and you're back at the hotel doing openers before dinner. So for everyone, it was a little bit different. But today, we had our start time. We knew that everything was going to go ahead as planned. So I wanted to talk a little bit about each rider's ritual today. Like for me, I do my activation exercises. I have my caffeine. I have a coffee. Then I get my race nutrition. You go through your process that helps you get in the game and kind of find that mindset for racing. But each rider is different. Like Lizzie, she's very relaxed on the bus. Always one of the last to get ready and like get her kit on and everything like that. Whereas Elisa Longoborghini and Gaia Riolini are always ready to go early, like helmets on 40 minutes before the start. Eleanor, she always has her race day braid and a million pieces of tape on her radio. Lisa Klein, she really likes to make her own coffee. And like everyone has their own ritual that sort of helps you stay calm, relaxed, get in the game, I guess. And it just helps you race at your best, or keep that routine when you're constantly on the road, moving, changing. We go from town to town, from hotel to hotel, and these race rituals, they're the constant that help you find your game face, or whatever it is that makes you race best. And it's quite interesting to see how they all differ. Like, I like to pin my numbers while we're driving to the race, while others do it the night before. Some people even have their superstitions. Obviously there's turning number 13 upside down, or for me it's almost a certain scrunchie. Like, everyone has their little thing that keeps their mind calm heading into race day. So yeah, today was a pretty relaxed day, I guess, for stage one. Like, we all knew that there was a big climb to finish, so it was mostly just about getting your climbers into the long climb in the best position possible, and then for me as a domestique, letting them do the work. So we're happy to have Gaia and Elisa both up there in GC, and I think Elisa just off the podium, and Gaia in the young rider. So a good day for us, and looking forward to more.
I also feel like, look, everyone is really hating on the Lidl-Trek kits, and I think they're not so bad. I think that they would have been better if the design on the back wrapped all the way around the front. But I really just, the hate out there on the internet there's a lot of it.
Oh, I actually quite like it, but I like it. I mean, we've just got so many just standard kits that are just boring. So I think it's good for a kit to be that bright and colourful, and I mean, each to their own, I guess.
So in terms of the race, we had Van Vleuten go over the top of the climb first with just over half a minute on Gaia Riolini and Marta Cavalli. And then behind them, just under a minute from Van Vleuten, was a group of chasers that included Longa Borghini, Cecilia Tripp Ludwig, Juliette Lebeau. And we had Gaia Riolini and Cavalli eventually be reeled back in by that group of chasers on the descent. And Van Vleuten ended up winning by 45 seconds over that group, which is a pretty big margin if there's not much climbing to come in the rest of the race.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I'm not really sure where they can get that back from. It's hard to drop Van Vleuten on any climb. And she's pretty aero as well. I did look at the weather that they had today, and it was a headwind, but it was only 3 kilometers of wind. So yeah, they didn't really play a part in it. It was twisty as well. So generally, when you're on your own doing a twisty descent to the finish, it is a little bit quicker because you can take the lines you want to take. But yeah, first pink jersey. It's strange to hand the pink jersey out on technically the second day of the race.
First pink jersey and 100th UCI victory.
That's pretty cool. And I mean, also she has got a good team around her. I mean, she hasn't always needed a team around her to defend the jersey, but she has got good teammates there now, like Floortje, and just riders like that can just ride the front for kilometers after kilometer. So yeah.
So do you think the race is over then?
It's not over. I think it probably makes it a little bit more exciting because teams are going to have to come up with different ways to catch her out and beat her. So it's not over. Nothing's ever over until you cross that finish line for the final time. But yeah, it's going to make for an exciting race.
Speaking of exciting races and races being over early, SC Works had a shocker of a day. Not a single rider in that chasing group. Their first rider to finish was Niamh Fisher-Black, over 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes down, which is not something I think we would have expected from Niamh. She's won the Best Young Rider classification at this race multiple times and was coming in as their leader with Demi Vollering waiting for the Tour. So a pretty interesting situation for them to be in. I think at this point, there's a sprint stage coming up on stage 3. It is actually going to be a sprint stage unless it's a breakaway day. But I think that with a rider like Lorena Wiebes in the peloton and with SC Works having really no skin in the game in the GC anymore, that they will turn their attention to bringing their surefire win to the line ahead of anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for them to let other teams win. But I was expecting, I mean, Niamh Fisher-Black, she's just come off a stage win at the final stage at Swiss. So I was a little bit surprised that she wasn't in that chasing group. Yeah, as well, I was a little bit surprised that Canyon SRAM didn't have a rider in that chasing group either. They've got Soraya Paladin, Chloe, Paulina. So yeah, they've missed out a little bit there as well. I'm not quite sure how far down their best rider was, but yeah, maybe they can just turn the race around a bit and just go for stages. Turn a disappointing first half of the race into a pretty great one in the final few days.
I guess that's like all the better for us because we at home get to watch more exciting racing with less teams in the fight for the general classification. Yeah, it actually turns out the news came out this morning that Chloe, when she crashed, she hit her hip pretty bad. They thought that she'd fractured her sacrum until about midnight when they determined it was just severe bruising, and so she could continue racing. But severe bruising and racing a bike is not a combination that you would want. So it's unsurprising, I think, that she didn't finish in that chase group, that she finished well. She finished behind Niamh Fisher-Black because we've seen Niamh come across the line, so over 3 minutes down. Definitely a disappointing stage for Canyon SRAM and for Chloe because she would have been for the overall. And also, I think she would have really wanted to test herself against a rider like Annemiek on a climb like this because she's not done a ton of climbing in the past, especially against the World Tour riders.
Yeah, I mean, I think Canyon SRAM put a video up a couple of days ago, and Beth was asking, their media manager was asking how many Giros each of the riders have done. So you've got Tiffany there who's done, this is her 13th, Soraya Paladin, it's her 10th. And then Chloe, it's her first. So she's never done a race this long, this many stages back to back. So it's a shame that she's started it like this because I think it would have been really good for her to show that she can do it and to prove to herself that she can do those back to back really hard days. Luckily for her, tomorrow it will be quite a relatively easy day. She can just hang in the peloton and maybe recover, but we don't know how bad it is. I mean, it must be pretty bad and uncomfortable for them to actually go to the hospital and get x-rays. So yeah, but I don't know if she's the kind of person and rider that will just go home.
No.
So see how it goes. But yeah, they'll be monitoring her quite a lot throughout the day and just seeing how she goes back end of the week. I mean, they have got that rest day, but that's a few days away still. So yeah, just have to look after herself.
Maybe one of the other just major takeaways from the day is that FDJ Suez has a lot of riders still within the conversation. They had 3 riders in that group with Avita Music, Cavalli, and Cecily Uttrup-Ludwig, who finished second on the day. So they've not had a ton of luck this year so far, but good to see them with 3 riders up there, still hopefully in the hunt for some kind of move in the GC.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a strong team to have 3 riders in the top 10 on the first stage. Yeah, they've come here with a strong team. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Veronica Ewers was in that chasing group and was one of the riders that was working hard to try to bring Van Vleuten back. So let's hear from Veronica Ewers.
Just in the transfer to the stage 3 after stage 2. Felt like stage 1 today after a not so successful prologue yesterday. Yeah, it was a somewhat chaotic day, just very flat, fast stage going into the main and only climb of the day. So a bit of tension in the peloton, but ultimately I think people were just ready to get going on the road racing. Annemiek did her thing and dropped the bomb toward the beginning of the climb with about 7, maybe 6.5K to go to the top, and managed to stay away. Personally, felt okay with the climb, and then had to give it a shot at the end with about 600 meters to go. Sort of an all or nothing attempt, maybe a bit futile or futile, but it was good in the end. And yeah, looking forward to helping our sprinter of the team tomorrow with the sprint stage.
All right. Well, Hannah will be back tomorrow to talk about stage 3. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks again.
Let's finish out the episode by hearing from Nina Kessler of the Jayco-AlUla team.
Well, I'm back in the hotel. Just finished my massage and physio treatment. It was a good day for us. It was hard, of course, but we rode really well. Anne Santesteban was 5th today, so we were pretty happy. Just like in the Giro, it's always like so chaotic, and the traveling and like packing your bags every day. But since I've been in cycling for so long, and I did the Giro, I think 10 years ago, and the hardest part was like the traveling and like getting food, and like massage was sometimes not even possible because it was too late. And like here, everything is arranged. Like if we walk into a room, our suitcase like is ready in a room, our own pillow is on our bed, and we have a chef also with us that makes like really good dinners for us, and it's so good. We don't have to think about anything at all, and yeah, that's pretty amazing. And also when you travel in the bus to the stages or after the stages, it's so nice and comfortable. But actually we got like a new bus here in the Giro, and like in the team everybody had kind of their like own spot in the bus, and yeah, that's where you always sit. And I was normally always sitting in the back because I'm a little bit messy, so I just like to have my little corner where I can throw all my stuff everywhere. And just like when I'm ready, I just push everything in my bag. But here there was not really a spot in the back, so I talked with the bus driver, and he fixed this amazing spot for me in the back. So I was really happy this morning that I got my own little spot in the back of the bus, like the little Nina corner. So it started already good this day. And and we always like in the bus, we always like play music before the race, and yeah, it's so nice to have a bus and also have like a shower straight after the race, and then the food is prepared for us. So we just scoop some food, and then I lay back in the back of the bus, and then we travel to the hotel, come into the hotel. Like I said, my bag is ready, pillow is on the bed. I got my massage, my treatment, and now I actually need to rush because dinner is ready in 4 minutes. My laundry just got back in the room. Yeah, okay, I need to hang my laundry myself, but for the rest, like, it's so nice. Like, sometimes I say also to my boyfriend, when I go on training camp, it's so relaxed because I don't have to do anything. Like, laundry is getting done, like, food is prepared, I don't have to go for groceries, I don't have to make dinner. It's so relaxed. You just have to ride your bike, eat, and sleep. It's amazing. No, it's it's pretty a luxury, and I'm pretty happy to like see all this and all the improvement in women's cycling. It's pretty cool. And you can also see like if everything is arranged around it, because 10 days of racing or 9 days, it's like pretty hard. And if you don't have to think about anything, that will make definitely a big difference in how you race. And till now it goes pretty well. Actually, we still say that Letty yesterday won the TT, even if it was cancelled. She was leading. And then today Anne was 5th. So 5th in GC. And we just looking forward to the next stages and enjoying everything we're doing, even if you have to suffer because you just did a lead out to the climb, but you still had to get over that climb. Myself. No, it was fun, and looking forward to the next races. Well, see ya!